Man, what a game. What a game, what a game, what a game. It was very defensive at first. A lot of people were bored. They said this was a snooze fest. It was reminiscent of LSU and Alabama back in the day, and we weren't getting any touchdowns. The people weren't getting what they wanted. But at the end of the day, they came through. Georgia specifically. The touchdowns got scored late, and we got some action in the second half, and even in the first half. It was a beautiful display of defensive football, and both front sevens were dominant, really getting to the quarterbacks, and Georgia specifically really needed to get to Bryce Young this time around. We saw what Bryce Young and company can do against Georgia if you give them all day to throw, and if you give Jameson Williams and those guys all day to get open. Let's go ahead and talk about Jameson Williams while it got brought up, because everybody, Alabama fans are going to be harping on this all off season, and I'm going to give you a neutral fan's perspective from this, okay? I'm not going to give you a Georgia fan's perspective or an Alabama fan's. I'm a Michigan fan. I have a neutral opinion in this one. I could care less who won this game today. I was happy no matter what with who won. I felt like it was the two best teams in the nation, two Titans going after it, and whoever won it earned it in the grand scheme of things. So I did not care. But what I got to say about that is, and I'll probably upset both fan bases here, because I'm going to say something against your team in both ways. Not against your team, but just against what you're probably thinking in your head. If you're Alabama, I think you have a real argument here. Jameson Williams absolutely torched Georgia's defense the first time around again in the SEC championship game. And you got to think that Georgia was going to have an answer this time around to try to figure out how that can't happen again. But Jameson Williams, I looked at the box score, and he was the second leading receiver for Alabama in tonight's game. And he went out in the first or second quarter? And the play that he got injured on was a big play where it was another miscommunication, wide open down the field. Pretty sure if Jameson Williams had played in this game, and if Metchie had played in this game, especially both of them, I personally think Alabama would have won this game, based on what I saw today. Because I don't think they had an answer for Jameson Williams. The answer was for them, unfortunately, on Alabama's sake, was Jameson Williams getting injured. That was it. I mean, you're going to tell me, well, yeah, he had that one play, but what about everything else? He had 3 other catches besides that. He was on his way to, 12, 13, 14 catches, a Jackson Smith and Jigba versus Utah type of game. Maybe not that much, but a pretty good game. He was on his way. And I don't think Georgia was going to find an answer for it. And on top of that, a bigger point that I have with this is there were a lot of times where Bryce Young, he was off today. He was off on the mark. There was a lot of pressure coming from that Georgia defense, and they did a much better job this time around getting to him. But when he did put the ball on the numbers and down the field, his players didn't come through. These recruits that Alabama's getting, these high-level 5- and 4-star recruits, they'll be good. They'll be good in the future, no doubt. But in today's game, they really blew it for Bryce Young in the moments where they needed him most, and they needed to step up in the absence of Metchie and Jameson Williams. And they didn't. And I think that Alabama fans have a viable excuse for them losing because of that. Because those are catches that Metchie and Williams would have caught, and those are plays that Bryce Young would have fed off of. So that's that. I'm sorry, Georgia fans. I know you guys think I hate you. I'm getting to you. Because here's what I got to say to the Alabama fans from the Georgia fans, at least from a Michigan fan's perspective, is who cares? Who cares? If I'm a Georgia fan, we won the national championship. Point blank, period. I don't care about your injuries. I don't care about your speculation. I don't care what you think would have happened. Nothing can be proven. It's about facts, right? It's about facts. We don't care about feelings or emotions or thoughts, what could have been, what should have been, what may have been. It does not matter. Georgia had to play against Alabama with what they had, and they were out to win, and Alabama was out to win, and Georgia got the win, okay? So I don't want any excuses. I don't want any excuses. Do I think Alabama would have won if Jameson Williams didn't get hurt, and especially if Metchie didn't get hurt in the SEC championship game? Yeah, I kind of do based on what I saw today. I do. But that's not the case. And Georgia's your national champion. And there should be no debate about it. And besides that, they ran through their schedule. They beat up on my Michigan Wolverines team. I got to give them all the props in the world. And I know that me and Georgia fans didn't get off to the best start, but you guys earned it. And I know you're probably mad at me about the Jameson Williams comment and everything a second ago, but you earned it. You won the national championship. And it's not easy to go through Michigan in the dominant fashion that you did and then beat Alabama the way you did. And Stetson Bennett, a lot of you guys were so hard on him. I tried to tell y'all, man, my man takes care of the football. Yeah, he got the fumble or whatever, but it was on an attempted pass or whatever, and it just happened to be bad timing on his end. But he came right back through. 4 for 4 for 83 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions from that point on. And I think you guys owe Stetson Bennett an apology to some regard. Anybody that was hard on him and wanted JT Daniels and everything else. And maybe JT Daniels could have got it done, but I'll tell you what, JT Daniels was... he's not exactly the best at taking care of the football either from his USC years. So, I don't know, man. I thought that was the guy. He led you all year long. I felt the same way as a Michigan fan with Cade McNamara. We had J.J. McCarthy sitting the bench, and he's got a higher ceiling. But there's something that Stetson Bennett brings to the table that JT Daniels doesn't bring. And he brought it today. He had a good day, efficient day outside of that fumble and some missed throws here and there and taking some sacks. He made some mistakes, but, Alabama's defense is pretty dang good, guys. It's pretty good. So Stetson Bennett did what Stetson Bennett needed to do to win this game for the Georgia Bulldogs, and he let the defensive line win the rest of it, okay? And win the rest of it, did they? Because on the opposite end, Bryce Young, as good as he's been, Heisman Trophy winner, excellent quarterback. My man deserves every accolade that he got this year. But I said it in my stream on the first possession that he had. I said it about Stetson Bennett, especially when he fumbled the ball while running for no reason with no contact. But with Bryce Young, I said, he's got happy feet, man. He looks like a freshman in a big game against the front seven for the Georgia Bulldogs, and nobody can really blame him, right? Because that's no easy task for anybody. But he looked a little rattled. He looked a little nervous. And I think it showed. I think he played one of his worst games, if not the worst game he's played all season long. Still did well yardage-wise. Still had a pretty good game. But the turnovers, when it mattered most. I really question Alabama's last drive. I don't know why they went for so many deep passes. They still had 3 timeouts left. They needed a touchdown. They still had plenty of time. They were driving through the field rather methodically, just doing these cross routes and these short patterns. And then out of nowhere, they just start going deep left and right. And you don't have Metchie and you don't have Williams. I don't get that. I don't get that. I'm not one to really question too much on Alabama's coaching. It's obviously been elite over the years, and I'm just some guy on YouTube, but I think you guys can agree that they were moving down the field just fine. They still had a little bit over a minute left with 3 timeouts left. I feel like they tried to get too greedy too quickly, especially with some inexperience at the wide receiver position. So I don't agree with that. On the opposite end for Georgia, really did notice that they stuck to the run, kept Alabama honest. It was not working in the first and second quarter, really. They were not getting anything per a clip on the ground game, but slowly but surely, Georgia stuck to that run to keep Stetson Bennett comfortable and not make him have to win the game offensively. And over time, you saw they were starting to get 7-8 yards, really tearing through Zamir White and James Cook with some tough runs. And they did it. They did it in the trenches in the grand scheme of things, like they did all season long. But the question was, could they do it to Alabama? Well, they did. They finally did it to Alabama, and they earned it. I think Kirby's finally got that monkey off his back. I think the Georgia fans finally got that monkey off their back, and they deserve it. They deserve it. It was an excellent 2021-2022 season after a year that was really weird last year and counts, but is just awkward. And it's good to have a full season and a new champion. Congratulations again to the Georgia Bulldogs, their fan base. I know you guys hate me at some moments, but I'm happy for you guys. I really am. I think you guys earned it, and I think it's been a long time coming. Braves and Georgia Bulldogs in one year. Who'd have thunk it?